It is time now for business here on France 24 with Will Hildebrandt back once again. Hello there.
Hi, Catherine.
Let's start off. Stock markets just opening up here in Europe. Let's start with those.
Well, London's FTSE is just opening up in the green, as is Paris's CAC 40. Meanwhile, the DAX trading down at the moment, but European markets are still feeling the boost from the holiday season. Retail sector is performing very strongly. A different story out in Asia today. China's Shanghai Composite retreated after earlier hitting its highest level since 2010. Traders cheered a report that said the People's Bank of China will change rules governing how loan-to-deposit ratios are calculated at the start of next year. The Hang Seng finished up 1.78%. Meanwhile, the Kospi and the Nikkei closed in the red. Not much data for the Asian markets to digest today. There was a lot of attention on this missing AirAsia jet. That airline, the low-cost airline, its shares tumbled about 7.5%.
And we have been reporting, of course, that search and rescue officials now think that this flight could well have crashed into the sea. This company doesn't have a track record of accidents, though, does it?
No, this would be its first major incident since the airline began operating in 2002. Since then, it has become one of the most popular budget carriers in Southeast Asia. So the event will prove to be the test of leadership of the company. Experts are closely watching how quickly the plane is found, how AirAsia handles the public relations, and the public's perception of the cause of the accident. Catherine Viet has more.
Now everyone can fly. The company slogan that marks AirAsia's philosophy. It's the largest low-cost carrier in Asia, and since 2009, it's been ranked the best low-cost airline in the world by Skytrax rating service. The company's boss is Malaysian tycoon Tony Fernandez. He's seen by many as Malaysia's answer to Richard Branson. The former Time Warner executive bought the ailing airline from the government in 2001. While the airline industry struggled in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks, Fernandez bet on the rapidly growing air travel of the middle class. A smart bet, as it turns out. In 2002, AirAsia turned a profit, and 1 year later, its debt was repaid. Quickly, Fernandez created subsidiaries throughout Southeast Asia. The airline now has 8 and serves 120 destinations, from China to Australia via Hong Kong and India. The company flies Airbus planes exclusively, purchasing 574 jets since 2002. 3 times more profitable than the national carrier Malaysia Airlines, which has endured 2 air catastrophes this year. AirAsia has experienced 13 years of spectacular growth. Until now, the company has never recorded a serious accident. The disappearance of the Airbus jet linking Surabaya to Singapore could hurt AirAsia's reputation and impact its bottom line.
Right, some news from Ukraine now. Overnight, the parliament approved the budget for 2015. And Will, this means there are going to be some significant changes coming down the pipeline.
That's right. Ukraine wants to more than double its spending for defense to 4 billion euros. This is while its economy is in crisis, so it will have to shore up other streams of revenue. That includes sharply raising tax rates on luxury items such as expensive cars, but also cigarettes and alcohol, lowering the burden on small businesses and low-income individuals, streamlining its unfriendly business taxation system, and closing loopholes the government says have been long exploited by oligarchs. Ukrainian officials hope the budget will unlock the next tranche of aid under the multi-billion euro bailout from the International Monetary Fund. Earlier this month, Ukraine said it needs the IMF to expand that program after it forecast its economy to shrink 4.3% this year. Let's take a quick look now at some of the day's other top business stories. The controversial movie The Interview made more than $15 million in the first 4 days of its online release. The movie stars James Franco and Seth Rogen as bumbling journalists who are recruited to kill the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Sony said the movie has made almost as much money through online distribution and limited theaters in its opening weekend as it would have made if it had a wide release. So far, it's an impressive return for the film, basically after the publicity surrounding the cyber attack blamed on North Korea. More bizarre activity online. Twitter reported it saw a limited blackout on Sunday. A partial outage it said the nature of which was not immediately clear. Users reported problems on Android and iPhone smartphones, as well as a computer application TweetDeck. Twitter claims 284 million active users.
Intriguing indeed. Right, we're going to round off business with a very festive story. Now, what do you do with your Christmas tree when the festive season's over? Maybe compost it or send it to the chipper. But there's a company that's come up with a bit of a novel idea.
That's right. It's a French startup called Do You Green, and it's recycling pine needles and bark into a silky, soft fabric that is, quote, ideal for underwear and lingerie. The manufacturing technique turns pine needles into this soft fabric that has been described as soft as silk with the feel of cashmere and the coolness of linen. I don't know if that interests you, Catherine, but I guess there's just one way of going green, taking it to an even next level.
It's good. I like that. You could turn your Christmas tree from one year into your Christmas present for the next year, maybe.
Good job, yes.
Oh, well, we'll have to see. You should try and get your hands on some for us so we can test them out. Thanks very much. Will Hildebrandt there with the business news.